It's Bonham right here on your classic metal show from the disregard for timekeeping release that is guilty, and we're very guilty of corrupting the youths of America.
Apparently, dude. Jesus.
I am always stunned and amazed at the age of people who discover us.
Fucking Mikey opened the door, and now they're all in.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow.
Can you imagine how many high schools or even colleges that people go, man, did you listen to that classic metal show?
Yeah.
Those two crazy fucks on there.
Those two old fucks.
Those two old fucks. Those two old dudes.
Jesus.
They're funny, but man.
Out with Neely, in with Taylor.
Right.
Even she's too old for what's been calling tonight.
Yeah.
Gee, she's the old lady in the house tonight.
Yeah,
Jesus.
She's going to be 22 in February.
My goodness. She's ready for retirement.
Yeah, no kidding.
Jeez.
Wow. It's been an interesting show tonight, that's for sure.
Oh, shit.
See, your buddy John has checked in.
Where?
Who's in there? John Drake as a faggot?
It's Dominic.
Who is that?
Dominic.
Oh, is that Dom? Wow. Jeez.
But it is true.
That's too funny.
John is pretty gay.
Well, the thing is that he's had the stigma that I don't like him.
I know.
From day one.
He believes that.
I know.
It's true.
To have it, and I don't even want to use the word stepson because I don't even know if that is even the case.
It is, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it is.
Did he officially adopt him?
But he lives there.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Whatever. Stepson enough.
I know, but when my dad remarried after my mother passed away, I always referred to her as my dad's wife.
Oh, yeah. How old were you?
Well, I was already 20.
Well, that's it. There's no raising.
Yeah, I understand that. But other people perceive that as being a stepmom, your stepmom. Yeah. It's like, well, she's my dad's wife.
Believe me, my kids are with you. My kids do not call the new husband the stepdad.
Well, why would they?
They don't.
There's no relationship there.
No, not at all.
There's no association there aside from their mother marrying some dude.
That's it.
I mean, seriously, that's what it is.
It's the next dude sticking a cock in your mom. That's it.
Nice.
Next in line.
Exactly. Step up.
Here's some good pussy to get. Go get it.
There you go. All right. Do you want me to finish this story or what?
Yeah, you can. I couldn't get back to that lady. I needed a couple of minutes.
Right. All right. Where we left off.
Yeah.
This guy on Facebook commented on this lady and called her a slut via the Facebook.
Right.
His own personal Facebook.
Right.
She contacted his employer and said, do you know what your employee said about me?
Yeah.
Is this the type of person that you want to have in your employment?
Right. And she and the employer said, "Fuck you, pal, fired."
More or less.
Right.
So many people have seen this as a woman overreacting to say a man says mean words on the internet.
Okay.
But that perspective carves out a large aspect of this situation, presenting a false narrative. A narrative that continues to allow people, especially men, to get away with harmful behavior under the guise of unrelated but important sounding concepts like freedom.
Not going to comment yet.
All right. Here are the facts.
Okay.
First, Ford had no power to fire this man, yet Ford is receiving angry, vile messages written as though she was the main person in power responsible for Nolan's firing.
Okay, that there is a false assumption. And let's put it into another perspective. Guy and a girl work in an office, okay? Girl goes and says to the HR department, he grabbed my ass. Is it the HR department that got him fired? Or is it that chick?
Well, she was the catalyst. Let's just put it that way.
And that's the same in this situation. It's the same in this situation. And ultimately, he was a douche for grabbing her ass. And this guy was kind of a douche for putting it out there publicly and not fucking... I guess he thought that this fucking public figure was a little bit less of a pussy than she actually is. But she is a fucking twat fucking puss. Let me run to his employer and tell him what he said.
Sure.
Fuck you, you fucking cow.
Right.
What a fucking pig. That's just fucking shitty.
They're saying that she was not responsible for his firing. Clearly,
they're wrong.
His employer, who very well could have ignored Ford and kept the man on the payroll.
No, they're wrong. That's not the fucking issue. The issue is she's a public figure that could hurt their company.
Sure.
And that's why they reacted.
Right.
It's not some lady made some accusation. It's some fucking twat-faced cunt that fucking is a public figure that could hurt their business crying about it, and more or less the underlying tone is deal with this fucking guy or I'll say something about it in my article, in my next article.
Well, it's under the guise of being threatening.
Yeah. She's threatening the company. Maybe not directly, but she's using very indirect fucking threat there. And that's why they fired him.
Okay.
They didn't fire him because he called her a slut. They fired him because they were afraid of their rep being hurt. Only reason.
All right. Getting back to this, of course, Ford deals daily with overreactive men, as she is a woman voicing her opinion on gender issues with a Twitter account. Harassers seem to lack the willpower to ignore people like Ford.
Yeah, why do they have to? Why do they have to ignore people like Ford?
Well, what she's saying is that you could read her articles or whatever it is that she's publishing, and just sort of like, okay, well, whatever, you have your opinion, I have mine, and then go about your business.
And that might be construed as the same as accepting it as fact or good or right.
Well, true, but here's what they're trying to say, and I agree with you. What they're trying to say is that you could just go read that and go, well, I don't agree with your opinion, and just disregard it.
Yeah.
So what this goes back again, and I made this point before the break there, right, that you made the comment a couple of weeks ago that said that people today,
yeah,
expect to have an opinion or a thought or voice something and not be challenged on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what this person is saying, is that, well, she can go out there and spout her opinion or her viewpoint on things, and you should not challenge her. And if you do, you're going to reap the wrath of her fury over your disagreement.
I'd like to take it one step further, though. If you have an opinion, it doesn't, because with what you just said, her reaction would be, well, his reaction to me wasn't about my opinion. He took it to a personal level.
Right.
That's going to be her reaction.
Sure.
But you know what? Fuck you. Your opinion pissed me off. Your opinion makes me think you're a slut or a cunt, or I wish you would fucking have an aneurysm. That you're allowed to hate. This is where this whole world is all fucked up now.
I agree.
Everybody thinks that you're not allowed to have hatred for anything. You're absolutely allowed to have hatred. You're absolutely allowed to fucking have hatred for anything.
Well, I agree. And I was reading today on on our iTunes. Mm-hmm. We haven't received very many recently, but I did read a comment on somebody said something to the effect that, clearly Chris and Neely get their viewpoints from Fox News and any right-wing leaning talk radio.
Clearly we do.
Which is clearly they're hateful, bigoted, homophobic, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is that if you have a viewpoint that's counter of whoever it is that you're, commenting on, that automatically makes you hateful. Yeah. Automatically. Doesn't mean you have a valid viewpoint. It's just that you're just being hateful.
Yeah. I'm strong enough to say I am hateful. I hate people that have stupid thoughts. I hate them. If their theory is stupid, I hate them. I hate their thoughts, and I think they don't deserve to have fucking thoughts. That's what I fucking think.
Well, okay, and you're welcome to that. Yeah. But my point is that you can't even have an opposing viewpoint on anything these days without being labeled as being hateful.
You just have to accept the label anymore.
I guess you just have to say, all right, I guess I'm hateful then.
I say it all the time. I'm hateful. I'm a dick. I'm a racist. I'm a bigot. I'm a faggot. Whatever. Who cares?
I noticed that, and not to, blame Obama because that seems to be the popular thing now.
Right.
But the thing is since he came into office, at least here in the States, if you have an opposing thought process or viewpoint to any of his policies or whatever, you're a racist.
Of course.
So automatically you're labeled something immediately if you have any kind of an opposing thought process on anything.
Yeah. It's true. But the problem is that people are so fucking weak. That's why, look, I don't think Donald Trump, people keep asking, and I have not offered much of a political opinion because I haven't paid too much attention. I personally don't think Donald Trump is going to win, and I don't really think he's probably the right guy either. He is fucking fairly radical.
Well, he is radical, but at least he gets you to think.
Yeah, well, my point is the reason that I would vote for him over some of these other fucks, most of these other guys, is because he's not afraid to just say it and be labeled. He doesn't care.
Well, and the reason he doesn't care is he doesn't need their support.
Yeah, he's got all the fuck you money he'll ever need.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, so he doesn't give a shit. And whether you like him or you hate him, you got to respect a guy that does not give a fuck.
Yeah, because he's like, I don't need your money. I don't need your support. I don't have to kowtow to your thought process or your viewpoint because I don't need to appease you to get you to shell out some bucks toward my campaign.
The last thing that guy's going to do is pander, and it's not surprising at all that because he doesn't pander, that's the only reason he's so high in the polls.
And the reason he doesn't pander, which is the reason why the Republican Party is panicking, is because they need the pandering dick fucks out there,
right,
in order to continue that cash flow.
Right, of course.
But see, if Donald Trump were to be elected under the Republican banner, all of this gratuitous money will stop. And that's what they're afraid of.
Yeah, or they'll have to find new ways to funnel it back and forth.
More or less, yes. Yeah.
They'll have to funnel it back and forth without the great big pipeline in the White House. Maybe.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
And it'll make it'll devalue all the other shit.
It's like, oh man, you're gonna cut off our pipeline to all the donations.
Yep, it is. And again, I don't think the guy's the right guy. I think he's kind of a fucking ass clown on some of his issues.
Regardless, but at least he's still stirring the pot.
Yeah, at least if you ask him a question about fucking Muslim, Islam, whatever, he doesn't go with, well, we're gonna engage in a study and we're gonna get to the source of their anger, and then we're gonna do our best to try and call their anger without offending anybody. Fuck you. Just say yes, we're gonna do something, or no, we're not. Arm up or don't. Enough with this fucking pandering bullshit.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have to worry about the guy. Well, if you don't say what we think that you should say, we're going to pull our big bucks out of here.
Yeah, no shit, because he doesn't care.
Yeah, because he doesn't need their big bucks.
Right.
Doesn't need it.
Yep.
All right. Well, anyway, getting back to this. Yeah. Second, Ford didn't lie or falsify Nolan's statements. She pointed out that they existed and were being said publicly. Mm-hmm. She didn't hack his account. Mm-hmm. He left a derogatory message almost anyone could see on her Facebook.
Yeah.
Businesses have long done online searches on potential employees, and this goes back to something you said.
Right.
That if you were to go out into the, corporate world again and solicit a job, you would pull your Facebook page down.
Before I ever put a resume up.
Exactly. Yeah. Naturally, they care about maintaining a reputation, and if they can find something damning on employees, their shareholders and clients can too.
Yeah.
And take their business elsewhere. Mm-hmm. So again, getting back to the whole Donald Trump thing,
yeah,
money talks.
Yeah.
Oh, you said something we didn't like. We're pulling our big bucks out of there.
Yeah. I want to get back to this chick, though.
Yes.
It's fucking sickening that she's trying to divert, or this writer's trying to divert for her, all blame from her.
Well, that's exactly what this writer's doing.
That's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, she had nothing to do with this fucking person being fired. She has everything to do with this fucking person being fired. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
A thin-skinned cunt of a fucking public figure.
Watch it, Chris. You're going to get fired from the CMS.
Whatever. That part is a problem. Fucking her whining to an employer is a fucking real problem. Some fucking commentator you are, you fucking twat. Say what I want and don't offend me, or else I'll fucking cry. Fuck you, you fucking cunt.
Right.
I hope you get an aneurysm and then die in a fire
while
you're having a stroke.
All right. See, this is why we can't be commercially viable, because of you, Mr. Aiken.
Well, sucks.
I can't solicit this show to a commercial entity because of you.
That's right.
You're fired.
All right. Bye. Good night, folks.
The world has gone digital, and life isn't separated by offline or online anymore. People can and do lose their jobs for what they do online. Ask Anthony Cumia.
Yeah, which is ridiculous and stupid.
I agree. Even in their personal capacity, because that's where businesses operate too. Mm-hmm. Again, Marathon's decision to fire an employee over conduct that was not illegal, but which they deemed against the company's values, was not the first, and it will not be the last such decision a modern business makes. That this conduct happened on the internet is irrelevant. This wasn't a man writing boundary-pushing poems in his journal. It wasn't him telling sexist jokes privately with friends. Nolan did this publicly, and this was the consequence.
No, wrong. This was the consequence of her going to his employer. This was not the consequence of him making a post on Facebook. That's a fucking uniquely told lie that they're telling here.
Right.
They're saying that, watch this, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to write, fuck Obama on my fucking Facebook.
Okay.
I just posted it.
Sure.
Okay? I just posted that on my Facebook. I'm not going to get any notification or fired from it.
Yeah, because you don't work for you don't work for anybody.
Say I did. Say I worked at your company.
You won't, but
I'm not going to get fired for that. I will get fired if you go to your boss that we now both work for and say, look at what he put out there.
Right.
That's when I'll get fired.
Sure.
This fucking pussy twat fucking is again, she's not taking responsibility for her own role in fucking jobbing this guy out.
Sure.
Because she's one of these typical feminazi twat fucking self-empowered jizz buckets. That's what she is.
Why do you have to inflict hateful rhetoric and name calling? Why do you got to do that? I just don't understand. Why can't you just be, why can't you be Why can't you be conciliatory and be, draw everybody in and show peace and love and kindness?
No, she's a jizz bucket. Guarantee you that somebody has blown loads on her face, tits, and fucking asshole. She's a jizz bucket. That's what she is.
So she is a slut.
She probably is a slut. I don't know that she's a slut or she's not a slut. If she's a slut, she's got to fucking earn it because she certainly doesn't look the part to be a slut.
Right.
She's a slut for fucking cookie dough.
Those who disagree continue the narrative of free speech, where free speech means no consequences. Ford and others are declining that need. Let's see. Ford and others are deciding that needs to change, as she wrote.
Mm-hmm.
So they decide.
They decide it needs to change.
Right. I did it because I'm sick and tired of men abusing women online and continually getting away with it.
Oh, poor pussy. Oh.
I can bear the brunt of his behavior, but I'm angry about the number of women who tell me they can't.
Yeah, because guys have to respect women.
Right.
That's a rule.
Too many women are harassed into silence by women who flounce about the place doing and saying whatever they like. They flounce about.
Flounce about.
They flounce about.
This chick is everything that I hate about a woman.
Right. Men getting away with sexism is an issue that needs addressing.
Yeah.
A culture of sexist tolerance undermines entire industries, let alone individual people's daily lives.
Do fucking women like this twat understand that their first role to a man is pussy?
Well,
do you understand that?
Well, see, that's the whole thing, is that they think that, well, the thing is that they don't see themselves as quote unquote sexual objects. First and well, I get that, but the thing is, it's just like, well, we want to be known more than just pussy.
You will if you do something besides that,
right?
I mean, you've had a number of girlfriends that you've had for a long time.
Correct.
2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 years, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Every one of those chicks, every single one of those chicks, started out being about pussy.
True.
And then it turned into, once you got the pussy or once you started working toward the pussy, you started
developing some kind of deeper relationship or meaning. Yes, I agree.
Or they started having value outside of being pussy.
Correct.
That's how it has always worked.
But that's just nature in general.
So these fucking feminanuts fucking want to be against nature.
Well, yeah, that's really what it boils down to. It's just we want to change the nature of the beast.
Well, too bad. We don't want to change. How about that? Just because you want to do something doesn't mean we got to want to do it.
Right.
You know what? I don't want to fucking see you fucking whatever breathing half the time. These chicks have no value.
Well, again, this goes back to why prostitution is still running rampant.
Yeah.
Because guys just want to pay for your pussy and be done with you.
That's what I want.
And that's it.
That's it.
So,
do you think that there are any guys, and God knows I sort of doubt this chick cares, but do you think there are any guys that fucking try to lead into this girl? And I don't want to say any because then we're always wrong. Do you think that most guys that might approach this fucking Constantine Ford do so that they can have intellectual, spiritual conversation about the differences between men and women?
No, absolutely not.
They either want to fuck her or they don't.
Right.
After they want to fuck her or they don't, then they start making decisions about the rest of her.
Well, this goes back to the story that we covered last week about hunting season in Upper Michigan.
Yeah.
These women converge on the Upper Peninsula of Michigan during hunting season because they want to flaunt their wares.
Right.
Because men are willing to pay for it.
Of course.
So they're not going up there to say, I want to have an intellectual conversation with you. It's just like, I know you want to sniff my pussy.
Right.
So if you got a few bucks, I'll let you sniff my pussy.
Let's go to the real. And that's a very good point. Every town in America damn near has a strip club. Fair?
Yeah, I would say so, yes.
8 of every 10 do anyway.
Yes.
Okay? You have friends. I know you're not a strip club guy, but you have friends that go to strip clubs.
Yes.
Have you ever, in the history of talking to your friends about strip clubs, talked to anybody that said, you know, what's really cool about this place is that fucking, you know, Ginger here is such a good communicator. And that's why I keep coming back.
No.
It's always, did you see those fucking tits?
Yeah.
I'm going to throw 20s at her to fucking lap dance me.
Sure.
I want her to pretend that she's fucking me. Right?
I mean, that's why they exist.
Yeah. But why is there a strip club in every... There's as many strip clubs... There's probably... To put it in comparison, there's probably 2/3 as many strip clubs in this country as there are McDonald's. Right?
I would imagine, yes.
I mean, if you think about it, you know, there's more than one in most towns.
Well,
right?
there's actually a chain of strip clubs when I used to drive a truck.
Yeah.
In just about every town that I drove into, there was a what was the name of this? There's 2 of them here locally. What is it called? I'm trying to think of the name of. What is it?
Crazy Horse? Or?
No, it's not the Crazy Horse. It's I have to think about it. But there's a chain actually. They make a chain out of it. They're in every town.
Right. Here's the numbers. I just pulled it up real quick. There are 4,000 strip clubs in the U.S.
Okay.
4,000.
Okay, divide that by 50.
Would be, how many? 8. 80 a state?
80 a state.
Or is that 800? No, 80 a state.
Okay, 80 a state.
80 a state. There's 400,000 strippers in this country. 400,000, and the annual strip club revenue is $75 billion. Are they making $75 billion to have a nice, clean conversation about how fucking they love each other, or they want to stimulate each other with their brains, or is it all about, man, I hope I can get around that fucking thong so I can see a little bit of that fucking snapper.
Right.
That's what it's about. It's about pussy. That's what your value is. Accept it. You can have more than just that as value. You don't only have to be pussy. But you sure as fuck have to start there in a relationship. Sorry, you do. And that includes a work relationship. When you've worked with chicks, don't you fucking be honest. Whenever you go into a new job, your first thing you do is when you meet different people is you give them some sort of a scoping. Is she hot or is she not?
That's pretty much it.
You know, not necessarily like, oh man, I hope I fucked that one, but first impression before you're ever talking about, well, this is your supervisor and she's in charge of the blah, 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 is you meet somebody, you shake their hand, you're like, all right, she's a 4. She's a 6. She's a 2. That's the way it is.
It's true. And the strip club chain that I was thinking of is called Deja Vu.
Yeah. Deja vu.
Yeah, Deja Vu.
It's funny.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah. Why can't this Constantine Ford see that? Why does it have to be changed?
It's Clementine, my friend.
Whatever. Constantine, Clementine.
Clementine.
Cuntitine. That's her name. Cuntitine Ford.
Right.
Head.
All right.
Y'all fucking pissed.
I know. That's why I brought this to the table again, because I know you love these stories.
I hate these bitches.
Right. Men getting away with sexism is an issue that needs to be addressed.
Is it?
A culture of sexist tolerance undermines entire industries, let alone individual people's daily lives.
Yeah, okay, so good. Let's go the other way. Let's go the other way then. How about if we never fucking consider you as a sex object? No women. We just don't consider that at all. What if, does a bitch like this think that if we don't give them sexual fucking connotation to them, that they will have any value in our lives? Do they think that we're all of a sudden, because we're not looking at them sexually, going to be like, hey, let's all fucking get together for the football game, and come on, Jane, you can come with us? Is that what she thinks is going to happen?
I don't know the answer, but I know for me personally,
yeah,
in the, you know, the experience that I've had with women in general, the women that I've, you know, had any kind of relationship with, be it, you know, sexual or non-sexual, is because I was attracted to them.
Right.
In some way, shape, or form.
I don't want to use your current job because that's not right. At your last job with the Indians, there was one or two women that worked there that were not Indians, right?
Correct.
Okay. And I'm assuming that you did not have a sexual relationship.
No, not at all.
And because of that, did you ever just say, hey, we're all going to the bar after work, why don't you come with us?
Not once.
Not once. You didn't try to include them.
Nope.
And that was a non-sexual relationship.
Yep,
that was a non-sexist relationship.
It was.
And what did that equal? Ignored. Because really, guys don't want to spend time with you. Guys want to. There are girls that are cool. You know me. I hang with a lot of girls.
Sure.
You know, more than most guys do. I think. You know, I do, and I enjoy. You know, like Stephanie. Me and Steph are fucking.
Yeah, but if you had the chance,
I'd bang the piss.
There
out
you
of
go.
Fucking right.
There you go. But that's the whole thing.
Yeah. But that's not. I mean, you can have a relationship. You can have that relationship, but that's rare. That's the exception, not the rule. The rule is to have, and let's be honest about why. It's why almost all marriages end in divorce. Because in the end, we don't really like the same shit. Guys are not sensitive like that. We don't want to fucking argue about shit we did 15 years ago. We don't want to fucking worry about having that shit held over our head. We don't want to fucking have a relationship where it's just, you know, where you can't just say whatever the fuck without somebody fucking correcting you. It's like, you remember on O&A when they used to do the bits about having the hole in the studio?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we do not want.
Sure.
That bit had so much real in it. Because that's what you get half the time. Oh, you can't say that. Hey, watch it. Don't be fresh. Fuck you. Nobody wants that. And that's what a non-sexist relationship is. That's what it is. Guy and girl, 9 of every time, 10 times. Or probably 999 out of every 1,000 times. Guy and girl will have a relationship that is nothing but hello, how are you? If you're not banging them or trying to, how you doing? Good to see you. See you tomorrow. Did you the girl or girls at your last place? Did you have any more of a relationship than that?
Nope.
Did you give a fuck what she did on the weekend?
Not at all.
Did you say, hey, show me your vacation pictures on your phone?
Never.
Never. You didn't care. Now, if there was a chick that worked in your office that you were trying to bang, you'd look at those fucking pictures now, wouldn't you?
Sure.
Of course you would. And you'd be curious what you do this weekend.
Because it was a means to an end.
Yeah, because you're trying to get information to fucking get in that pussy.
Right.
That's what you're doing. That's what man-woman relationships are. Why is that so fucking hard?
It's not hard. It's just that we want to change that.
No, by we, I hope you don't mean you.
No, I don't mean me. I'm just talking about, I'm going from her perspective.
Oh, okay.
We, as in her.
Right.
That's what we want to change.
Right.
Never going to change that.
Yeah.
I talked earlier this evening about deer.
Yeah.
Deer are a good example.
Mm-hmm.
During mating season,
right,
these bucks are going wild because all they can smell is that pussy in the air.
Right, dude, we are exactly like deer.
Exactly.
But but with us, it's not smell. Know what it is with us? Tits.
Well, whatever it is.
Well, think about it, dude. You've seen in your life, how many tits have you seen? In pictures, in real life, in everything?
Sure.
10,000? 100,000?
It's hard to say. It's hard to put a number on it.
You got to think 10,000, right?
Okay.
You've had 100 different tits in your hands.
Okay.
Is that fair to say?
I would imagine.
Okay. That being said, if you finished banging a chick a half hour ago, hottest chick you've ever had sex with, okay, you banged it out, she was great, you fucking got all up in there, fucking left her a drizzled mess. I mean, you just fucked the world out of her.
Right.
And then you guys got dressed and you had to go to the fucking store for something.
Sure.
And you walked past a chick that had big, nice, perfect tits. Tell me you're not like, holy shit, look at those tits.
Right.
That's guys. That's what guys do. Always. That's what they're always gonna do.
Yeah, it's just built in. It's just built in, for what I want to call normal guys.
Yeah. And to be honest, for as much as a fucking half a lesbian kook, see, look at it. That chick right there.
Yep.
I've seen that chick a million times, and every time I see that fucking picture, I'm like, man, look at those tits. But no, a chick like this, half a lesbo that we're dealing with here, or that I would assume is half a lesbian here, because she can't get along with men, they think they're going to change that. It's never going to change.
It's never going to change.
No. You know what girls like this get, or women like this get? Guys that lie to them. The fucking white knight. That's what she wants. And you know as well as I do. The white knight is trying to do what? Bang the chick.
Yeah, he's going to go through the back door, though. It's just like, oh, I'm not like those other guys.
Yeah, they're
those
offensive.
Those guys are pigs.
They're dude, I'd tell this story all the time, and it'll be in the Korea book when I write it. That was my MO. I used to be that guy. I was constantly, one of the things in Korea was that fucking the American girls pretty much had to put out. Because if they didn't, you'd just go downtown and bang out whatever. And even banging hookers was not a big deal over there. It just wasn't. So I was always the guy that talked to the American chicks, and I would just motherfuck the guys that were banging the Koreans.
Sure.
These guys would have Korean girlfriends, and I'd be like, I can't believe they're banging them slopes. What the fuck is wrong with them? I would just be like, why would anybody want yellow pussy? I was just that guy. And meanwhile, if I hadn't hooked up by like fucking 2:00 in the morning or whatever with the American chicks, I was in a cab downtown.
Sure.
Go find me some Korean pussy. I just wasn't going to tell them. I was the white knight. And I got a lot of pussy that way. Just by, I'll be honest, by lying. By saying, it's fucking horrible.
It's kind of a weird way of putting it, to be honest, by lying.
Well, I was.
I was being honest by lying.
I'm being honest now.
I understand. I get what you're saying.
That was the truth, though. I definitely was fucking willing to get pussy by lying to chicks to get it. Because I wanted it. And that's always going to be the way. Chicks like this, they'll fucking, the guys that will defend her are guys that just fucking, they're either gay or they don't have the balls to stand up.
Sure.
But 99% of all men, they don't want this. They just want pussy.
Right.
Period. All right, I'm done ranting.
All right. This tolerance continues because we've created cultures where targets of awful behavior are expected to just take it.
Yeah.
But consider, Nolan is responsible for his own actions and words. Marathon decided those actions and words were not in keeping with their business. Marathon's decision was based on Nolan's decision to be a jerk.
How did Marathon find out about it?
Well, because Ford told him.
Because she cried to them.
Right.
She made an assumption that what she could do could hurt him. She purposely tried to hurt him.
Well, yeah, because
He hurt her feelings.
Yeah, well, in earlier in the story, it said that he needed to be punished.
Yeah, punished
For his behavior.
Yeah.
The false narrative of responsibility is, however, quite potent by giving Ford power and therefore responsibility. She does not have justification for targeting her. Let's see. She does not have justification for targeting her, can easily be created and continue regardless of reality. This is why targets are so frequently viewed as irrelevant and also powerful by their harassers.
Stupid.
This is the root of victim blaming.
This is fucking ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is really pissing me off.
I know it is. Harassers' responsibility for awful actions are eroded, such as that a false image of power lies within the recipient of the abuse. Instead of confronting harassers and abusers, people blame targets for taking action in response to the abuse. To protect themselves and others, as in Ford's case, you got a man fired. Instead of, that's what happens when you're a jerk to someone. So they are voicing the point that you just made.
Yeah, basically that she's not taking responsibility.
Right.
It's his. She takes no responsibility for him being fired.
Right.
All right, I've had it with this bitch. Are we done with her?
Almost. As always, free expression has been dragged out as being threatened. The scary image of Big Brother watching every move we do and then losing our jobs because we were mean is being touted as feminists behind the levers of corporate hiring practices. For harassers, free expression doesn't exist for targets using it to respond, ignore, or report their harassment.
You're not a private citizen that can enjoy the fucking liberties of harassment charge. You're a public fucking figure. When you open yourself up publicly, you open yourself up to the scrutiny no matter what it is.
Yeah, good or bad.
Good or bad. Doesn't have to be on point, and it doesn't have to make you feel like they give a shit about your point. That's what happens to a public figure. I'd sue that company, to be perfectly honest. If I was that guy, I would sue the company.
Sure.
I would absolutely say this had nothing to do with it, with anything.
Well, this is the Anthony Cumia syndrome.
It is. And he's suing serious.
Right. Free expression only exists for the enormous number of random, often anonymous haters who harass. So basically, what they're saying here is that she had the freedom of expression of informing his employer.
Yeah. Fine. She did have that. I don't disagree that she did have the freedom to do it. But at the same time, she's a fucking twat for a weak, thin-skinned twat.
Well, again, this goes back to the whole I'm telling.
Yeah. It's typical of today's world. My pussy's hurt, so I'm going to fucking try and hurt you back.
Right.
I'm going to call you a name. I'm going to get you in trouble. I'm going to she can't fight her own battle herself.
Sure.
This was words. She said some words. He said some words. In reality, she could say some more words to him. She could write a 10-page article about how this guy's a bully. If she would have done that, I don't think I'd have a problem with this guy getting fired. If she'd have wrote an article, if her rebuttal was, why I was called a slut on you because of yesterday's topic. Pop, 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 pop. And she wrote this thing and the company got wind of it and then she got fired and then he got fired. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But her purposely trying to hurt this guy through means other than one-on-one conflict is what makes me fucking nuts.
I agree. Because she went out and drew in an outside source.
She didn't have the stones to deal with it herself. She's weak.
Exactly.
And that's what her expectation is that people should be weak. People should take her opinion, and if they don't agree, they should just be weak.
Right.
Don't you dare fucking confront me.
You can call a woman a slut online, but you're not allowed to call a business on the man that did so. It's clear how this fits in with the narrative to keep targets silenced and, as Ford and others highlight, preserve the reputation of the most privileged group who for too long have been able to conduct themselves without fear of consequences.
So there's no thought or premise at all that she should have to fight her own battle when she's confronted directly.
Right.
I don't think he confronted her newspaper. He didn't go or blog or whatever. He didn't go to people that run that and say, "This bitch is a slut." He went directly to her. She, instead of firing back directly to him, goes around.
Mm-hmm.
Pathetic.
Well, again, it's just like, oh, yeah, I'll show you, slut. I'm going to your boss.
I'm going to get you where it hurts.
Yeah. How dare you challenge me?
Yeah.
I'll make sure you remember me, pal.
Yeah.
For too long have experts, often women and marginalized people, been the ones bearing the consequences of harassers.
Yeah.
With the great equalizer that the internet has become, we are more able to let those who are actually responsible for terrible actions bear appropriate consequences. So it's like, you did something mean, so I'm going to make sure that you get punished.
Yeah.
Consequences in no way mean violence or threats. That's what we're combating. It means responses like suspensions of social media accounts, employers being notified, and so on.
If you think that taking money out of somebody's pocket and possibly causing them to lose their home isn't going to inspire violence, you're a fucking fool.
Yeah. Well, this goes back to the whole thing that you and I see periodically. Mm-hmm. You should be taken off the air.
Exactly.
It's the same thing. You said something that I disagree with and I find reprehensible, so you should be taken off the air.
Yeah, because it's my job to make you happy.
Right. So I disagree with your viewpoint and I don't like what you said.
Yeah.
So you should be silenced.
Right.
How many times have we seen that over the last, 15 years that you've been involved with this show?
Too many?
Too many times. You should be taken off the air.
Yeah, okay.
Because you shouldn't be allowed to say something that goes against what I believe.
Right. Stinks.
I know. This is not to say everyone should be fired for what they say online, nor am I encouraging everyone to report abusers to their place of work.
Yeah, only she can do that.
Yeah, but focusing on this particular case, we see how response to Ford taking action itself fits into the narrative that aims to keep her and others silenced.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she wasn't silenced enough to where he didn't have a reaction to her. But only when he busted her in the face, then she goes, well, you know what? I'm going to take something away from you.
Yeah, I hate her.
Who want to punish her for being brave enough to take action? Brave. This is brave.
Yeah, it's brave. You can't challenge back.
Yeah.
Brave to run around to somebody's employer.
Right. Speech without consequence isn't free. It's privilege.
Bullshit.
And more, we are using free expression and digital tools to fight back against harassment that has always been there, but for which it's never been the harasser's problem to deal with. And if these hypersensitive men can't deal with response to their abusive behavior online, maybe the internet isn't for them.
Yep. Whatever you say, twat face.
Well, this just goes back to people and their stupid Facebooks. You know me, I don't like the Facebook.
Sure.
But if you're going to go out there and use your Facebook and you know, put your personal information out online, where you work, where you live, what your associations with, and then you're going to go out there and you know, also say you're a fucking slut.
Yeah.
You don't expect somebody not to come knocking on your door figuratively.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they will.
Yeah. So I'm going to make this suggestion to all of our listeners. If you have a Facebook, take off your employer.
Yeah. Don't be putting personal shit out there. I work at such and such, and my kids go to such and such school, and I attend such and such church, and, you know.
Yeah, take it off.
Whatever. Don't put so much personal shit out there online.
Yeah, I'm taking mine off right now.
Yeah.
Delete.
Because people will hunt you down.
Yep.
We're in a very vindictive society anymore. People will hunt you down and destroy you if they can.
Yep.
You hurt my feelings. I've got sand in my pussy. Now I'm going to make you pay.
That's right.
So you better knock it off. I'm telling you, we've done a whole year's worth of Facebook shit.
Yep.
And if you, as our listeners, haven't learned anything from that, and you get busted somehow, or something horrific happens to you due to your Facebook postings or whatnot, I'm gonna say I don't have any empathy or sympathy for you, because we, Chris and I, have covered so many stories this year that had to do with the stupid Facebook.
Yeah, too many.
The stupid Facebook.
Yep, I'm literally right now, I'm deleting all of my shit.
I personally just don't think that Facebook is a good thing for the average person out there.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't mean that in a way that I'm so much more advanced than everybody.
Right.
But let's just face it, people. Your average person out there, they're not very smart.
Nope.
They don't think beyond like, oh, you know what? I need to report this. Oh, you know what? I need to be the focus of attention.
Yep.
You know? I need to do something that people are going to comment and say, ooh and ah, and boy, you got something going on there. It's like, you know what? You need to stop it. Stop with the I need attention.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a public figure. I realize that. I get that. I do a show every week. I've been doing this for 20 years.
Right.
I don't have a fucking Facebook, nor do I want one.
Yeah. You have a Twitter and you don't worry about that.
I do the Twitter for the show. That's it.
Yep. That's it.
It's like, hey, we're on. Hey, this is our guest. Hey, this is, you know, whatever. It's like, that's about it.
Well, I just sanitized mine. It says now that my jobs are co-host at the Classic Metal Show and author at Call Me Chris, and my previous work was author of Little Victories.
Yeah.
Fire me from any of those.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So you guys and gals who have a Facebook,
Yep.
You need to think about it a little bit.
Sure.
I mean, I don't see any use for it aside from look at me. Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants attention.
Yep.
Sometimes it's the attention you don't want.
I agree.
So stop it already. All right. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to finish out the show.
God, already.
All right. And it's going to be, this is the last show of the year of 2015. It's been a great show, great year so far. And boy, tonight has been something else.
Yeah, tonight's been pretty wild.
It's been interesting to say the least. All right. Well, I can only think of one song that I want to hear.
Okay.
It's not a great band, but they have a cool song, and it seems to fit along with this particular subject.
All right.
About getting fucked over.
Okay.
Here's Bullet Boys with Smooth Up In Ya. Exclusively here
On your Classic Metal Show.